Kuzu zampola ngiming beojin ngao cheda silavila tengara na Australia lu registered migration agency la the darige session na lu ngai subclass 189 la skilled independent visa asela ani ki kolle tumta chishuke la mapamam gira kendo la and many people have been granted this visa, so it is quite a popular visa. The popular kachibi yuga asela watching the Shinzumbela employer sponsorship law, employer nomination law, and it's it's competitive, but it's all points based la. Rangi points kadim chito to that adds up and makes it easier for you to get an invitation la. The any visa ki main highlights chin la. Obviously, age you have to be less than 45 years old. If you're above that age, you're not eligible to apply for this visa. Dele, you must have your skills assessed. The skills assessment so for this visa, skills assessment and the nominated occupation is a must. So you must have a positive skills assessment in your occupation, or your nominated occupation must be in the medium and long-term strategic skills list. In short, MLT, SSL. You're not eligible to apply for this visa. So age ki shui mola, the skills, the occupation ki shui mola. So these are pretty much the essential eligibility requirements. But there are other requirements like meeting the health requirements, meeting the character requirements. That is part and parcel of almost all visas. Points ki kon le tumta chishuwa chin la. Tatu bi legislative instrument that you watching, you have to have a minimum of 65 points to be able to submit your expression of interest UID la. The 65 points map top watching the UIR submit the what is important to understand is the minimum cutoff is 65 kushanu wadela. But then later, against the occupation, 65 points at times is a bit challenging to get an invitation, but sometimes 65 points also do get an invitation. So what I'm trying to say here is more that 65 points top the bureau expression of interest is submit up to, but then guarantee where invitation top 65 point top say invitation top so did guarantee me wala. But you can maximize your points. Okay, how to maximize your points? Delela songa ngachi national language tila. It has been included in the credentialed community language ki list nalula. It has been recently introduced. Now, this is an advantage for our Bhutanese people who look forward to apply for skilled visas like the visa 189. So by taking this test, you can add another 5 points to your overall points portfolio. Delay for some occupations like engineers, ICT, accountants, professional years villa, a 12-month long professional year program PYP seller, but that may not be relevant to people outside Australia. People now Australia should have watching. You can make use of this 12-month opportunity to add another 5 points to your points key portfolio. The points maximized there are certain categories where you can increase your score. The watching English tila. The visa 189 English the inji minji overall the IELTS page watching overall 6, the minimum 6 in all bands the Gorokobala, which is the competent English the Chisutuzumbe. Now if you want to take one step forward, say you sit for IELTS or PTE or for that matter TOEFL, if that is an option for you in your country, and you get the minimum IELTS equivalent overall 7, minimum 7 in all the bands. This gives you additional 10 points. More details will be shared with you, but as an example sake, I'm just letting you know. Likewise, if you can really excel well and get IELTS equivalent 8 overall, more than a band's guarantee minimum 8 averaging, then you get 20 points out of this. So see, basically, you're sitting with 0 points. You have added 20 points to your total points portfolio. If your partner has some skills and is working in an occupation or has worked in an occupation that is again in that skilled occupation list, then you can get some points there if you get her skills assessed by the Competent Skills Assessing Authority. And English kita kahibdalu mugi English the competent level tachishutu sume IELTS overall 6 and minimum 6 in all bands topsubachin, you can get additional 10 points based on your partner's skills in English. So this is how we can maximize the scores and get a better chance at receiving the invitation from Department of Home Affairs. So Tachishumi di Mola, those were some of the categories rangi points the increase being gokam iwala ilalu categories la, which still adds to the points table, but you can't really maximize because it is what it is. So the categories rangi the points as yasin to me categories things you say mola the dalepa the other categories la dinadinam say points yama chami ko cover me bala. For example, age la the eligibility requirements satisfied in the inchi 45 must be below 45 la, but depending on rangi any age bracket where you sit la, you can get points accordingly. Now if you are say within that age bracket mona at least 25 but less than 33 la, that is the category which gets the highest points for age la 30 la. So any category name watching 30 points tabla. And moving on la, the education qualifications la, if you have done like a doctorate PhD, you can get 20 points now. If you have done like a bachelor's or a master's degree, you can get 15 points. The diploma this year it's around 10 points if you have done diploma certificate level courses now. If you have studied in regional Australia, you can get another 5 points now. The regional Australia still have the Perth, Canberra, this so that regional Australia you will Sikila. Unfortunately, Brisbane is not considered, but some parts of Brisbane are again considered as regional area. So it all depends on the postcode la. The postcode that TD kongi designate with the regional areas. If you're in Australia and if you're studying Masters by Research or PhD in a discipline that is STEM related, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, or ICT related, there are few disciplines, you can get another 5 points. Now even if you're in Australia and you're not doing Masters by Research or PhD, and for that matter you're doing like a diploma course, a bachelor's course, a Masters by coursework course, you can get 5 points if you can satisfy the Australian study requirement. When I say Australian study requirement, it means you have to complete at least 2 years of academic study in Australia. The expression of interest is mola dachi. The namu ki tosam shedo mola. The expression interest the katilu submit benina. Yan pa Department of Home Affairs to submit bejin the kati submit benim. Yachin registered migration agent to submit benina. So basically, Skills Select say there's an online platform. Once you know how much points you have, you're just gonna go into Skill Select, make an account, my age amchi my work experience amchi my English score amchi and calculation so cheap points for example 80 thopche age law, work experience law, English law, partner skills law, ngaragi ani zonga ki credential, community language law, professional year program law, gara chapinga 80 years la bachin che ani points di system na chulbe, and you submit that. System will show UI received as of this date, amchi points nalo. And another thing to notice is that suppose today you submitted an UI mentioning 80 points as the points you can claim. Tomorrow, say something changes. Suppose you just went and sat for another English test more. Yamachiki 7 overall top no more, individual na 7 top no. Sachi betage. You get 8 overall, minimum 8 in all back. So basically, Nyamada Tatuki Bana, 10 points to Mimadachi. So you can get into the system again and then claim another 10 points. But you can't claim points once you receive an invitation. But you can make changes to your UI multiple times before you receive an invitation. This is important to understand because circumstances change.